Hi everyone, this is a video to review key signatures and you can follow along of course in the online text Open Music Theory CUNY. As you recall, we use key signatures because it gets tedious to write out the same accidentals for a piece or a song in a certain key over and over again. So let's say I'm writing a piece or a song in D major. I was using the D major scale. So every F is sharped and every C is sharped. Instead of writing a sharp in front of every time I use an F or a C in the song, I put them all in the front and call it a key signature. It does two things. One, it tells us, of course, it reminds us what sharps are in the key or flats. But secondly, you can also look at the key signature and be able to tell what key a piece is in. So you get an idea of like, oh, the tonic or the do of this song or piece is in G because the key signature has one sharp. Right? So there are a few things we're going to talk about here. First, I'm going to talk about how we construct a key signature using both clefs. So here I have two staves. And just to review, I'm going to put a treble clef on one of them and bass clef on the other. So for example, the treble clef, again, I start on the second line. You can also do a little dot. And then I'm going to go around like this, clockwise. Okay, like that. Essentially for the bottom half of the staff, I'm going to go up. I'm going to cross back down at the fourth line. And then draw a straight line down. Okay, so that's the treble clef. And the bass clef, we'll do a little dot on the fourth line and do a really big backwards C for cat that fills the entire staff. And then next we need two dots in spaces 3 and 4. Okay, so let's talk about key signatures. There are sharps. Okay, so as we've talked about, there are keys that use sharps in their key signatures and keys that use flats in their key signatures. Okay, and for keys that use a sharp, there's a maximum of 7 sharps. For the keys that use flats, there's a maximum of 7 flats. So you can have a key that can either have, not either, but you can have a key that has a anywhere from 0 to 7 sharps or 0 to 7 flats, depending on what the key is. Okay. The order of the sharps for a key signature the order for key signature using sharps starts with F sharp, okay, and then C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. Okay. Notice that I'm using the accidental, the sharp, directly here without associating with a note. Okay, and I'm putting this key signature in the beginning of a piece of music. So the order here is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. Right. I'm writing the sharp as if there was a note next to it, but there isn't one. Okay, so it's really important that when you're writing a key signature for sharps, that the middle of the tic-tac-toe or the hash sign is lined up with the line or the space that's associated with that note. So for example, this is F. This is for F sharp, and so the middle of this tic-tac-toe lines up with the F line here in the treble clef. Another thing to consider is that key signatures always have the same order of sharps and flats. Okay, so the order of the sharps is exactly as this is: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. And also the position of where the sharps are also predetermined, and they can't be anywhere else. For example, you can't draw the same key signature by using an F sharp here and a C sharp here and then a G sharp here and so forth. Okay, so that doesn't work. Find my eraser here, just erase this. Okay. So this is the order, and these are exact places where the sharp needs to be. Now, so that's for treble clef. For bass clef, it's essentially the same thing, only we're lowering everything down a little bit because of where the notes are in the bass clef. Okay, so we start with F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. Okay. Last thing about the sharps key signature is that it's really useful to remember this order, F, C, G, D, A, E, B, and you can use a mnemonic device for this. Also, when you're looking at a key signature that's given to you, let's say it's a key signature with 4 sharps. I'm just hiding the rest of it with 4 sharps. Okay, an easy way to, if you're looking at a key signature, an easy way to figure out what key this key signature belongs to is to look at the last sharp, okay, and go up a half step. Okay, so last sharp here is D sharp. Okay, so if I go up a half step, it's an E. So that means that this key signature goes with E major. Okay. Again, so like if I have a key signature with 6 sharps, okay, I'm looking at the last sharp. Let's say this is E sharp. I'm going up a half step to F sharp. Okay, and when you go up a half step, you also have to make sure that you're going to the next letter name as well. So E sharp up a half step is F sharp. Okay, and so this key signature is for F sharp major. Okay, and that works for all the sharp keys.